Welcome, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Career Conversations. Today we have our guest, Fred. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
So hi, I'm Fred Kiser. I am director of, wear like 5 hats, but I'm associate professor of music here at Kirkwood. I direct the choirs and the vocal ensembles, and then I'm also the music program coordinator.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for giving us that introduction. I'm just curious for other guests or students as they're watching, what is a favorite event at Kirkwood? It doesn't have to be a music-related event, but it could be. What's something off the top of your head?
Sure. Favorite event. Tell you what, we host a vocal jazz festival in February every year.
Okay.
And it brings in students from around the state, high school students, upwards of a couple of hundred high school students and vocal jazz choirs. And then we bring in professional adjudicators, so pro musicians who are both fantastic performers as well as great teachers. They work with high school students over the course of the day, and then they provide a concert that night.
Wow.
And it's a great way to get a bunch of people on campus. It's great for my students because they essentially run the festival that day at least.
What great
and so they get a lot of great experiences, and we're working with, these are nationally and sometimes internationally recognized adjudicators. It's a lot of work. The first year that I did it, my step counter, I had 18,000 steps over the course of the day, just going back and forth. So it's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun for us as well.
Okay, great. So thank you for mentioning that. It sounds like I need to go to this event because what a great thing to do, especially in the winter months when...
Oh, absolutely. Yes, and we also, oftentimes, those performers tie in with KCCK, and so they'll run down there, do an interview with the station, and then come up and be part of a festival as well. So there's some really fun people that come in and be part of that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that, and hopefully we can stay connected to that and attend this next coming year. But to kind of get jumped into what we want to talk about for today, so tell us, I guess, first your own career in music and how you got to here at Kirkwood.
Sure. So I have all of the degrees, bachelor's, master's, and doctorate. I started out as actually a music performance major, so I foolishly thought that, I don't want to go into education, I am a performer. And then I realized as I went along that, maybe opera singer wasn't the career that was going to be for me. So then I pivoted, went into choral conducting, so directing choirs and learning about choir music and all of those sorts of things. So my first real job, whatever that means, was actually at a small college in central Missouri, and I was there for 8 years, and then came back to Iowa to do my doctorate, and then from that work, then I did some contract work, adjunct work at Northern Iowa, Cornell College, and Coe College.
Wow.
And so got a lot of experience in the area with different types of schools and different schools. Came here in 2013 and have been here ever since.
That's awesome. Well, we're so grateful to have you here. And one word I wanted to pick out of your story there is you said pivot. So I think something when students are exploring careers is you can always take that pivot. And so hearing the experiences that you've had and the other colleges that you've worked at and even what major you had as a student and how it's got you to here. So I think that's a really cool word that I wanted to just pick out of there. But
yeah, I am lucky in that I've been able to stay in sort of essentially the same field for decades. But there were a lot of little twists and turns through that. And even with a music degree, you're not limited in what you do next or where your career takes you. I think it's also the world's greatest avocation because you can participate in music throughout your whole life. My oldest singer, this is in a church choir that I direct, but my oldest singer was 99 years old.
Wow, that's incredible.
You're not going to see a 99-year-old baseball player for
That is-
example.
that is
so. Music is something that you can do throughout your whole life, and it's something that I think totally. Of course, this is my field, but I think it can enhance what you do regardless of your career.
I love that. That's so cool. And just how I love how you mentioned that too, just like throughout your whole entire life. And that's really cool. So I guess I'm curious then, so when thinking about the two programs that we have here at Kirkwood and how those could be incorporated into people's life, whether it's personal interests or career interests, could you explain a little bit about an AA, so an Associate of Arts degree, and then the AAA, so Associate of Applied Arts?
Right. So I'll start with the AA, Associate Arts degree with music interest or music transfer. That really is for the student who says, you know what, I love music, but I know that for myself, I want to go into engineering or business or the medical profession or something else. But I want to have that solid foundation in music so that when I transfer, and this is really for students who are going to transfer, when I transfer to another school, I'm going to get a major in blah, 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 and a minor in music.
Sure.
And so we're really setting the foundation work for that.
Okay.
So, for example, a friend of mine, his degrees are in electrical engineering. He was in the workforce for a long time. Now teaches for the University of Iowa in electrical engineering. But he is a fantastic tenor sax player. And plays in bands around the area. So it's that combination for that AA degree. You're going to get some of the classes that you would for the AAA, what we call the AAA degree, but it is primarily for students who are at Kirkwood to finish those gen ed requirements to go on in another field.
Okay.
And yet, they know how important music is to them. And getting those experiences, those classes, keeping that as part of what they do.
For sure.
The AAA degree, which Associate of Applied Arts degree in music, is still fairly new to Kirkwood. We just finished our third year of offering that degree. And that is a music major or a music degree, and it is built for students who know that they want to pursue music as their primary career.
Sure.
A lot of those students will still transfer on to a 4-year institution, but what we do is set the stage for them. Dad fun. Set the stage for them in both transferring on. And so what are the correct classes to take to make that transfer seamless, to make sure they're not adding time at the 4-year school. But also then for students, we had a lot of students in my early years here that were working on that AA degree and just ran out of financing, ran out of steam, ran out of what have you. And are now working in the industry and yet still only have that high school diploma. So for our AAA students who want to go into the workforce, we still think this is a pretty good degree. You're getting a lot of music courses.
Okay.
You're getting some gen ed courses, and we try to guide you in which courses to take as you're looking down the road.
Sure.
But then one of the other things that this degree offers is an internship. And so everyone in the AAA degree does an internship with a local business, industry, arts organization, school, and gives them those kinds of experiences so that they can say, hey, I really want to do this. Sure. If they decide ultimately that they don't want to transfer. But then they can go into those other areas with an associate's degree. And I just really think that's powerful down the line. It may not feel that way the day after you graduate, but down the road, I think that's really important.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for explaining the difference between those two. So AA is more, if you're looking to transfer, and then the AAA is you could transfer after, but if people want to go right out and work after that, and then there's also that internship component where students are gaining that experience. So I'm curious, where are places that students can go with that AAA degree as far as like local opportunities or where you've seen alumni go?
So far, again, most of our alumni are transferring on to a four-year school. But many of them on the side then are starting to work in recording studios or work in the recording part of the industry. Several of them are also gigging. They are playing and making music and starting bands and being engaged in what's a really pretty rich music scene in the corridor in this area. And so making those connections. Some of them continue to work with their high school marching band a lot, but continue to work and do things. I have some that are teaching at School of Rock, for example, and we have a former student who's managing School of Rock here in the area. So
very cool.
Different ways to get involved in the industry.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for expanding on some of those. And it sounds like you would be a great resource for students who are curious about what opportunities are out there in the community, or knowing that you've worked with a lot of students and hearing where some of those alumni have gone off to. So
music is very much a word of mouth networking, and that's why I think the study of music is applicable in any industry. We talk about soft skills. So that networking skill, that ability to make contacts with people in the industry, to grow that network, to create that reputation for us. It's a pretty small world. And so it's been interesting to follow the students who are doing a really good job at that, learning how to make those contacts out there in the world.
That's
and
awesome.
we are making inroads with a lot of great organizations in the area. Orchestra Iowa, Eastern Iowa Arts Academy.
yes, I know you mentioned that one.
TCR, Prusel School of Music in Iowa City, and the list goes on. A couple of the recording studios in the area as well. So it's Kirkwood is building its reputation, and our students are building that reputation with us and for us.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for giving students some ideas of different places to check into in the area.
Sure.
And I do have just one last question. So if you were to give a piece of advice for students who are looking into the music industry, what is something that you'd share with them, or like a must-have skill maybe?
It sounds simple, but at the end of the day, it really is show up. And I talked earlier about how that networking is important. It is amazing how quickly, if you don't show up for a gig, I mean, showing up is half the battle.
Wow.
And it's amazing how quickly you can get blacklisted, as it were, if you leave someone high and dry. So that's it. The other, great but boring, you can never practice enough, right? You can never, because it is, we expect, I just watched, for example, the WNBA All-Star game on this weekend. We don't think at all anything about those amazing athletes spending hours and hours and hours and hours shooting free throws, which has got to be just as boring as the day is long. But we expect that of them. And I think as a musician, that self-discipline to get in and practice, yes. Is it not sexy? No, it's not sexy sometimes, but it's what you need to do to really make a name for yourself, to really get out there and be the best that you can be at your craft.
Absolutely.
And that's a skill that goes beyond just music, right? Whatever you do, you got to put in the hours.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all that you shared. I really appreciated those connections and just the pieces of advice that you have to share with us.
Sure.
So
My pleasure.
Thanks for joining.